Hi, my name is Smoline and I'm from Denmark.
Hi, my name is Camila Raza and I'm from
My
Aruba.
name is Jason and I'm from Germany.
So my expectations of coming to the US they're very high. I had this idea that it was it's like the dreamland. Like everything can happen over here. It's supposed to be a place where you can challenge yourself and you could grow. Compared to them, what I felt I met a lot of authority, and I met a lot of you have to do what they say, which actually I thought it would be opposite. We have it in Denmark, but it's not as much. You can question authority at home, and I don't feel like you can do that the same way here. So I feel like my expectations of actually having more freedom here was a little knocked down compared to school.
My senior year of high school, I did attend a international school of Aruba, which for us was an American school. It was a private American school that kind of fit the stereotype of American schools. It was very student oriented. The teachers they were very involved. I'm not sure if that's because it was an American school or because it was a private school. Either way, it worked a lot and helped me transition to an American culture a lot better. It was very kind of sugar coated. Our teachers were a lot more, not lenient, but they were a lot more realistic with us, and they wanted us to be more independent, and so it had a little bit more of the Aruban culture mixed in with the American culture.
When I came here, my expectations were, I didn't have many expectations because I really wasn't sure what I was getting into, but starting school here was kind of odd. I started here a week after I got here, and certain subjects where speaking English wasn't required were seemingly really easy here. Like I learned it already at home in Germany before I moved here in grades before.
We do the school system in Denmark a little bit different. Throughout the year, we of course have tests, but then the professor gives us a grade, and then you can say you go out and we draw a class out of a hat, and that's the exam you're going to. So you don't have to go to exam in all of your classes. It's whichever one gets picked out of this hat is what you go to. So I got picked for English and history my freshman year in high school, and then whatever grade I got at that exam was my grade. It didn't matter what the professor thought anymore. So I think it's better in the US because at least your grade over here builds on everything you do the whole year. When we do something at home, if you unfortunately get have a bad day or forget something or you draw a bad topic in that exam, it's your whole grade, and that's just, for some people it's really hard to take exams, and it's just hard to be graded on one day.
Being thrown right into the mix helped me learn English the easiest versus like studying it or learning it over time.
It's very helpful here that everyone's on top of your case, like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, you need to do this, you need attendance, you need homework, that's all counts for your grade, you need to stay on top of it. Where for us, we have 3 big exams. When I was in the public school, we had 3 big major exams. You can come to class, you cannot come to class, it doesn't matter, attendance didn't matter, you just needed an excused absence. And of course, we had homeroom, you guys call it homeroom, and they kept us on top to make sure that we were okay, but they weren't constantly treating us like little kids. Like, if you don't do it, then that's on you. If you do it, then good for you. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna make sure that you progress in life.
That in Germany, the education system, it's easier for no matter what level of intelligence you're at, because you get bracketed off into, like, I don't want to say like intelligence levels, but grades that you get will determine what kind of branch in school you go into, and that will determine how much help you can get for what you're doing, as in you can advance in school better, you can like advance in branches and become like like the three different like categories. You can work your way up to the first one, no matter like how smart you are. Versus here, you're all together thrown in the mix, and it's about kind of like survival of the fittest in a way.
I think what helped my transition the most coming to the US was definitely that even though the culture is different, it's not that different in the belief that you can do everything and that everything is possible over here is so much bigger than at home. We have a law, like unwritten law at home, that you can't just say you're better or you can't say you're good at anything. You're never better than anybody else. And over here, it's okay to be good. It's okay to believe in yourself and actually to go for your dreams. So that's cool.
Coming in from Aruba, I can definitely tell a big gap in maturity. Some teachers take attendance really seriously, and that portrays in your grade, which doesn't really make sense to me because it makes attendance shouldn't be part of your intelligence.
What hurt it, as previously said, I had some problems with authorities. I had some discussions with my coach about how to run practice. I felt that I was treated as a child, and that I had no responsibility for what I was doing every day. It was somebody else who told me what to do, and I just had to follow along.
It's very hard for us to transition coming from a very strict policies and everything, and then we come here and it's like, oh, we're children again. I feel like I'm back in 6th grade. And if teachers could just be more understanding of the culture, maybe if they can, I don't know, go to different conferences where all these I know my teachers back in Aruba, they go to different conferences because we also have Aruba's like kind of a melting pot island, so we have people from all over the world as well. And I know like the teachers go to conferences to understand what it's like for these children to transition, and what it's like for them in their countries and stuff like that. So maybe something like that would be helpful. And just be very understanding and open-minded about what we have to go through in order to come to this country and pretty much go through our everyday lives here.
I think it benefited me because I got to experience different cultures, as well as all the cultures that you can experience here in general. But coming from another place and learning perspectives is a great thing, and I think everyone should have perspectives of other cultures.